Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And in today's video, I am going to do my mid-month makeup review where I review a bunch of makeup products I've been trying the last couple months. I try to not necessarily rush these reviews and I like to really give the products a good trial run before I come back and review them. But today I have a lot because a lot of these products I wanted to really test out for a while until I reviewed them. And yeah, if that is something that you guys would like to see, then keep on watching. Let's go. Let's start with complexion because I have one primer, one foundation, and one concealer to talk about here. Okay, the first product is this primer from Pure. This is called their 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. Energize and Rescue with aloe, coconut water, and probiotics. So this primer I received in a BoxyCharm. I believe it was my February BoxyCharm, and I have been using this so much. It reminds me a lot of the Maybelline Hydrate Master Prime primer. So I think this is a not super high-end primer. It's kind of right in the mid-range. However, I do think it is something that is very dupable at the drugstore. So while I do like this, and I definitely will use this product up, it is definitely something that I feel like I can find at a much more affordable price point. So while it's really cool that I have gotten it in my BoxyCharm, it's still something that I feel like I need to turn around and now repurchase. Now the foundation I'm going to review. This might be one of the worst foundations I've tried in a while, and I feel like a lot of people gave it really good reviews, and I kept trying it and I kept trying it, and it just does not work for me. This is the Revlon Candid Glow foundation. The Revlon Candid foundation I love. It is such a good drugstore foundation, but the Candid Glow does not work on my skin type. I did a full video trying one on each side of my face, and first of all, this doesn't like stick to my face. I feel like it completely does not stick like here. Like no matter how much I apply, it just like completely breaks up here before I even finish doing my makeup. The coverage isn't great, which I know sometimes coverage isn't people's #1 concerns, but like it wasn't sticking to my face in places no matter how many times I tried it, like using a brush, using a sponge, like I just could not get it to stick to my face, and that is pretty important for me when it comes to foundations, that it like sticks on my face. I don't know. I wanted to like this a lot because I really do like the original Candid foundation. It's more of like a satin natural finish, and I thought maybe like a glowy version of that would be awesome, but this one just didn't do it for me. You'll have to let me know if this has worked for you. How do you do it? Because it doesn't work for me. And I have heard people say that they really like it, so I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but this ain't it for me, girl. On the contrary, the Revlon Candid Concealer made it into my March favorite video. This is one of the creamiest concealers that I've ever used, and it is just fantastic. There is 0.34 fluid ounces in this, which, is that a lot or a little for a concealer? I don't really know, but I feel like it's a concealer that it's so creamy. I feel like I could use it as a foundation because the consistency isn't that normal, like drying concealer kind of texture, which, you know, honestly, the consistency of this reminds me a lot of the original Candid foundation, so I'm not surprised. So when it comes to the Candid line, like I think there are really good products, and I've heard great things about the setting powder. I am considering, when I run out of my Maybelline Fit Me setting powder, trying out the Candid one because I've heard really good things about it, but this is great. The Glow foundation just was not for me at all. Okay, let's do the eyes next. Why not? I have, let's see how many products. I have 6 different eye products. So let's start with mascara. I feel like I've talked about this a lot the last couple months. This is the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. I believe I got this in the Target advent calendar in December. It just, I know there are people that really like this, but for me, it flakes so much throughout the day, and like there are so many mascaras out there that don't flake that I can't get on board with this, and I'll definitely use up this little guy here and I would not get it again, for sure. Okay, the eyeliner that I'm wearing right on the outer corner of my lids today is the Physicians Formula Waterproof Eyeliner. This also made it into my March favorites video. This has got me wearing liquid eyeliner again, and that is saying a lot because I just stopped wearing liquid eyeliner for so long because with my hooded eyes, it was constantly transferring onto my lid and it was just driving me crazy and it wasn't worth the hassle. And this is the first eyeliner that I have found that doesn't do that for me. So this has been life-changing. It's why I am confident wearing liquid eyeliner again, and that's like a really big deal to me, and I highly recommend this if you are someone who does suffer with the transfer onto the lids. This might be the solution to your problems. Okay, I have 4 eyeshadow palettes. I think it's 2 high-end and 2 drugstore. Okay, the first one came, I believe, in my December Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. This is the Wander Beauty Wanderous Rush eyeshadow palette. This has 6 eyeshadows. It has 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. I had the, what's it called, like the Seascape version that I got last year. I did declare that only had 1 matte shadow and it just wasn't really workable for me. However, I really like this one. I didn't think it was going to be something I would like, but for a very natural everyday look, it's really easy for me to use. I'm able to use this shade up here as a transition shade. This one can darken it up. And then I have basically like a variety of a couple shimmer shades to add a pop. It's a very simple everyday palette. That's what I would call it. It's not something that you're going to get a variety of eye looks out of. It's not something wild like that. But I think it kind of goes with the aesthetic of the brand where it's supposed to be very easy, travel-friendly makeup. And I can see how this specific palette does that. So this wasn't actually something I was preparing to like after how much I disliked the Seascape palette. But I actually have been genuinely enjoying using this palette for very simple eye looks. Okay, now to a palette that I bought at TJ Maxx. This is the Milani Pure Passion palette. I do believe all of these palettes are being discontinued from their line, which is surprising because I do know this was like a very popular line. They had a bunch of this style palettes, so a surprise. I never bought one because they were $20 and I didn't want to spend $20 on a Milani palette when I feel like if I'm going to spend $28 on a palette, it better be the best quality because ColourPop is so much cheaper. That being said, I got this for I think $5 at Marshall's, which maybe one day Marshall's will be open again. My thing is, I do like it. I think the mattes are really good. So this row and this row are all fully mattes and I really like the mattes and the shimmers are good. However, I don't find them all to be consistent. I'm gonna try to see, can you see how this one is super crumbly? Like I can't really get this one to work because it's very crumbly. So I'm not crazy about the consistency, but I like it. So I like the palette. I don't love the palette. I like it for the $5 I spent, but if I spent $20 on this palette, I definitely feel like I would have felt ripped off because I just don't think it's a $20 quality palette. I think it's drugstore worthy, but not like the price they charge worthy. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if you have a different one from this line. Oh, I love how reflective it is. So this one is Pure Passion. If you have a different one, if you find you've had a different experience with it, definitely let me know in the comments. This is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palette. I used Ipsy points to buy this. So I didn't actually pay for it. I used points to buy it. So it was kind of free to me. So this one looks like this. This is my first one I've ever tried from like the what are these? Like when they did the ones that were like the gemstones. I don't know what the collection was called. And I've heard people say that the quality of these are not as good as the originals. And I tried it a lot and I definitely have to agree. I do not find that the mattes blend as well as the original palettes do, and I do not find the shimmers quite as pretty as the originals. Now, I would by no means say this is a bad palette, but if I had gone out and paid $27 for this, thinking I was getting what I had gotten in the other palettes, I would have been unhappy. So while I like this palette and I enjoyed this palette, I definitely don't think it has the same quality as the originals. Let me know if you agree with me on this because I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about the Topaz one specifically. So I'm wondering what people have experienced. I actually one day did a really pretty eye look, but all I did was I used this yellow shade all over the lid and it was like a really cool matte eye look, but I find like making very intricate looks with this palette, like they just don't blend very well. Okay, and now my favorite palette out of all the palettes I'm going to review in this video is actually the palette I'm wearing today. And I don't wear purple eyeshadow a lot, but I feel like since trying this palette, I have been playing with purple a lot more because I feel like this is making it easy for me to play with purple as somebody who fears purple. And that is this e.l.f. palette. So this was part of their holiday collection. I actually bought this one on Black Friday. I believe this is called their Hot Chocolate Spice palette. I have another one of their spicy palettes. It's like a red and yellow kind of one. This one is like the more purpley one. This retails for $10 and you get 15 shades. Let me show you actually, hold on. So this is the other one I was talking about. I think this is called like the spicy palette and this is the hot chocolate one. However, if you compare it to the new classics, which is kind of like their more standard size palette, it is significantly small. It is significantly smaller. So I believe this size retails for 14 and this size retails for 10. But that being said, I have been so impressed with the quality of this palette. I love the purples. So everything on my eye except my inner corner highlight today is this palette. And I very much enjoy the shimmers. One of the coolest shades is definitely this one in the corner. It's like, it's almost like an eye topper. It's like an iridescent eye topper. I don't know. I never wear purple. And this palette has made wearing purple a little bit easier for me. I definitely find the quality of these smaller palettes to be the same as the larger palettes. I feel like these don't get as much hype, but I've been enjoying them. But this is just the most recent one I've tried, and I definitely recommend it, especially for $10. Let's jump over to lips. I only have really 2 products to talk about. The first one is this lip liner. This is from KKW Beauty, and this is in the shade Red 2. This took me a long time to actually get a full review on because I don't wear red a lot, so the amount of time, I wanted to wear this enough amount of times before I fully reviewed it, and I really do like the quality of this. It is a sharpenable pencil. It looks good. It wears well. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just a good red lip liner. I would definitely be interested in trying other shades from the brand. I don't feel like I need to right now, but I'm glad that I finally was able to try something from KKW Beauty. Okay, the last lip product I want to talk about is the Luxe Glosses. I was gifted these from a friend, and I really enjoy these glosses. I do have a full swatch video on my Instagram trying all the shades out. I will say, I think I prefer more this end of the spectrum where they have a little bit more color than the lighter end, but I can definitely understand why people would like any of these shades. I don't think you need to go out and buy all 8. I just happen to be given them from a friend. I will say some of them are more matte and some are more glittery. So the glittery ones are Ticklish, Blissful, Tied Up, and Come Through. And the ones that don't have really any glitter are Just Cuddle, Overnight, Drama Queen, and Slow Motion. These are more of like a thick, really hydrating gloss. That's like the only way I know how to describe them. They feel like you're moisturizing your lips when you wear them. I really do like them. I'm glad I got to try them. Of all the gloss formulas I've tried from ColourPop, these are my favorite. I like these a lot better than the Ultra Glossy Lips. I like these better than the So Juicy Gloss. Like, this so far is my favorite gloss formula I've tried from ColourPop. Is that because that's the only 3? Do they only have those 3? I'm a big fan. The last category is bronzers, blushes, and highlights. So let's start with the 2 highlights. So I'm wearing this highlight as my inner corner today, and this is the Kylie Cosmetics Ice Me Out highlighter. So I actually received this as a free sample from Ulta. This is one of the most intense highlighters I've ever purchased bought in my entire life. This might be more reflective than an Ofra highlighter, and that is saying a lot. If you are somebody who likes the, as I believe Teresa Is Dead would call it, the Alien Slut highlighter glow, I think these provide that. I really like it. I especially like it as an inner corner. If you really like to make that inner corner pop, this is where it's at. It's actually really good quality. I've heard nothing but good things, honestly, about Kylie's powder products. This just happens to be the first one I've tried. It definitely makes me want to try the bronzers and the blushes. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Just be warned, it is super glowy. Now for a free sample that I got from Ulta that I don't really love. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cooling Glow Stick in So Guilty. I like the idea of it. I love cream highlighters. So when I put it on, it's like, it is that cooling sensation. It looks pretty, but it doesn't blend out well. So like I go to blend it and it gets really dry, and how I've been doing it is I've been using my finger like this and trying to tap it onto my cheekbones so that it doesn't just like cling, and it's very hard to work with. So I feel like the idea was really good, but it didn't pan out well. Like I want to like it because I have a lot of stick highlighters that I really like, and I like that this one has that cooling sensation, but the dry down just makes it kind of unusable to me, and it's kind of been a disappointment. I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy it and that I just got it for free, but I wanted to like it. Okay, I have one bronzer to talk about. This is from Physicians Formula. This is their Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer. I've been wanting to try this for so long. I finally bought it at Target. I did a whole wear test comparing it to the Milk Makeup Stick, and I do think they're very similar. However, I know I saw Jessica Braun talking about this with hers, but mine, let's see if you, can you see that there are little bumps? Now, I haven't found that this has affected the wear or usage of the bronzer, and I assume it's because this line is made of like organic products and it has jojoba oil in it. So I'm guessing this is like the oil balling up, and I assume that means that it's still safe to use, but I definitely have never had something like that with any of my other bronzing sticks. And I mean, this happened after like a couple weeks of me even opening it, which I found kind of odd. And that's why I haven't felt like comfortable recommending it, because I don't think a brand new product should be doing that. I don't know. I'm gonna keep using it because I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I just feel like that's a really weird thing to happen so quickly with a brand new product. And now we're gonna talk about blush. I have 4 blush here to talk about. As I'm wearing 2 blushes at once on my face, I have just been blush crazy lately. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just blushy. Okay, let's talk about this. This is probably the oldest one in my collection right now. I bought this a while ago at Target. This is the e.l.f. Soft Peach Cream Blush. I am such a big fan of this. I have worn this so many times on one side of my cheek and my Honest Beauty Coral Blush on the other side of my cheek, and I feel like they are literally dupes for one another. Now, the Honest Beauty isn't super expensive, but it is a lot more compared to this one. So I feel like if you have been really interested in the Honest Beauty blushes, I feel like this is a really, really, really good dupe for it. And all I do is I dip my sponge in it and I just tap it out on my cheeks. It's like so easy to use. I just love it. It's so pretty. Highly recommend. Let's just keep on the cream blush train here. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss Nude Flush Blush. I did a whole video comparing this to the Flower Beauty blush bombs, and I find that they are very much dupes. I will say this one comes out a little thicker and more pigmented, but they basically blend out the exact same way, and they give you this beautiful, just like healthy glow. So I would say if you already have the blush bombs in a shade you like, I don't think you need this. But if there is a shade in this line that you feel like the Flower Beauty line is missing, the formula to me is very, very similar and it can be manipulated in the same way. Okay, one more creamy blush is the MAC Glow Play Blush in the shade So Natural. This also made it into my favorites for March, and this is such an easy, fun blush to use. I just tap my sponge in there, tap it out on my cheeks. It works well over powder products, so I find it to be great for touching up. Towards the end of the day, if I want to add a little bit more blush, this is really fun and easy to use as a fun touch-up blush. Oh my god, we're at the last product finally, and it's a powder blush. So I also bought this at Target. This is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Nude. I feel like I hear Allie Glines talk about these blushes a lot, and I really like this blush. I think it works really well. It has this sheen to it. Like, it's not a shimmery blush, it's not a glowy blush, but it really does have this sheen to it when I put it on. I will say it did hit hard pan really quickly. I didn't want to remove the hard pan before showing you guys because I wanted to show you what it looks like. I mean, I don't like touch it, I just use a clean brush in it every time. I do just use Scotch tape when I get hard pan just to clean it up, but I thought it was weird that it got hard pan so quickly. But overall, I really do like the quality of this blush, and it's probably one of the few products in the Fit Me line that I've never tried. Whew, I am out of breath. I told you there was a lot that I had been trying that I didn't want to like review too early, and I wanted to make sure I got my full thoughts out. So we had a big backlog and we kind of cleaned up my new makeup trying bin a bit, getting through all that. So you'll have to let me know in the comments, have you guys tried any of these products? How did they work out for you? Is there anything you want me to review coming up on my channel? I got a lot of free time, so let me know. And yeah, that is it for this video. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.